Здравствуйте!
Здравствуйте!
Сегодня наш первый урок русского языка.
Sorry, didn't get that.
Today is our first lesson.
Good, that's good.
Okay.
That's why we were here for.
Да, меня зовут Алина. Меня зовут Алина. А вас?
Меня зовут Angelos.
Мне очень приятно. Мне очень приятно.
Nice to meet you.
Да.
Меня очень приятно.
Нет, мне очень приятно. Меня зовут Алина. Мне очень приятно.
Okay, got it. So, меня зовут Angelos. Мне очень приятно.
Как дела? У меня все хорошо. А у вас?
Дела? What's that?
Как дела? Как жизнь? Как ты? У меня.
How are you?
Да,
How are you?
У меня все хорошо. А у вас?
Right. У меня все хорошо.
Отлично. Я из России. Россия. Я из России. А вы?
Меня из Греции.
Нет, не меня. Я. Я из Греции. Я из Греции.
Right.
Меня зовут Angelos. Мне приятно. И у меня все хорошо.
Каша в голове.
Ты не можешь это знать сейчас по-русски.
Okay, so
Да.
I can remember this. Меня зовут Angelos.
Правильно.
Меня зовут Angelos. Мне приятно.
Да.
Мне приятно. And the last one was Я из Греции.
Греции. Genitive case.
Greece, Греция. I am from Greece. Я из Греции.
Греции. It's another case. Do you know anything about cases, Angelos?
Cases?
Yes.
No.
No. There are 6 cases in Russian. What is a case? Do you know?
I don't know. Case. What's that?
It means that our nouns, adjectives, and pronouns can be changed in 6 different ways. For example.
It's gonna be bumpy.
For example, Греция, it's nominative case. Греции, it's genitive case. Греции, the same and in dative case. But if you want to say я люблю, I love, я люблю Грецию, it's gonna be accusative case. For example, let's take a cat. How do you say a cat in Russian?
Кошка.
Кошка, правильно. Кошка, it is a nominative case. So this is how you find this word, a cat, in a dictionary. If you search for it in a dictionary, it will be кошка.
Right.
It's the original form, right? Nominative case. But if you want to use it in a sentence, you might want to change it. Even if you don't, but you have to. If you don't want to, but you have to. So, for example, if you want to say, I don't have a cat, in Russian it will be genitive case. У меня нет кошки. Кошка.
Right.
Кошки. You change the ending. So this is what a case is. It's when you change the ending of a noun, and of course adjectives and pronouns, because they kind of go with the noun. So that's why they are also have to be declined, changed, the same way as the noun.
Right.
The same case.
Okay, so I don't have a cat is у меня нет кошки.
Кошки. Хорошо.
Right.
If you want to say, my cat is 3 years old, you're gonna use dative case. Кошке 3 года. Моей кошке 3 года. Кошка nominative. У меня нет кошки genitive. Кошке dative case.
Right. Why do you make it so complicated, Russians? Don't get all that. Right.
You know why? I will tell you.
Yeah, why do we need all this? That's my question.
Yeah, I'm going to give you one example I
Right.
usually give to my students. So for example, if I say Елене звонит Виктор. There are two names, Елена and Victor, and there is the verb calls. Елене звонит Виктор.
Okay.
Who do you think calls whom? Елена to Victor or Victor to Елена?
Well, Elena calls Victor.
And you think so because it goes the first.
Yeah.
The first word is Елене, not Елена.
Right. So so you want to say that this in Russian means that Victor calls
Yes.
Elena.
Yes. In Russian, the word order is not that important as in English.
Right. Well, why? Sorry, Elena. Why would you want to say that in that way? Why would you want to change the order? I mean, would it be easier to say Victor calls Elena?
You know, Russians are not so structurized, so well organized as other people. Maybe that's why we want to make it more creative, you know? Because in English you just can say one way, I love you. That's the only order which is possible. In Russian you can say, я тебя люблю тебя люблю я люблю. And it means the same.
Значит, любит.
Exactly.
But seriously, guys, this is my question. It's been my question for a long time. I want to understand why would Russians come up with all these cases just for the sake of creativity only? Is there any other reason that comes, from, long time ago?
Firstly, it's not only in Russian. It came from other languages to Russian.
Right.
Okay? And we used to have more cases before.
More?
Yes. One thing that I tell to my students to comfort them a little bit is that in Finnish language there are 15 cases and there are 25 cases in Hungarian. So Russian is really easy, guys. Don't worry much.
What you said? Okay, so in Russian we have 6.
Yeah.
Finnish language?
Just 6.
15.
Yeah.
Hungarian language? 25 bloody cases. Right.
So Russian is not difficult.
Slava Bogu.
If you know the functions of each of the cases,
Yeah.
you know when to use them. And what you need to do is just to memorize the endings.
Okay.
And there are beautiful tables you can find in the internet or buy in a shop where there are all the endings for each case, for nouns, adjectives, pronouns.
Good.
So what you need to do is just memorize this table.
Okay.
And remember the functions. But I'm going to give you all of the functions, not all of them, but the most important ones in this video.
Okay, good. Sounds good.
In this lesson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Right.
So, nominative. Why do you think it's called nominative?
I don't know. It's just like the name.
Exactly. Yes.
Yep.
Nominative nominates things.
Yeah.
So when you want to say, I don't know, this is tea, this is a computer, this is a pen. In Russian you say это. this is.
Okay.
And then you use a word in nominative case because you nominate this thing.
Right.
Это ручка. Это чай. Это Angelos. Это Alina.
This is, right?
Yes,
okay.
yes. And
Okay.
you use the original form, so you don't change anything.
We don't change anything.
Yeah.
It's like as we see the word in the dictionary.
Exactly,
Okay.
yes.
This is a pen. Once more.
Это ручка.
Okay. This is a cup of tea.
You want to make it
Ладно.
more complicated.
This is a cup.
Это чашка.
Это чашка. Okay, this is a cup, right?
Это Angelos.
This is Angelos.
Yes. So no matter is it a person or a thing, you use это and then the word.
Okay.
Name or name of the thing.
Right.
Okay? And
Okay.
it's nominative, so you don't change anything. So the nominative is the easiest case because you don't need to do anything. So we use it to nominate things, to say это, and we use it as a subject of a sentence. What is a subject of a sentence?
The subject, I was going to say that's the one that, is in the beginning. I don't do that in Russian.
No, not in Russian.
Okay.
But in English, yes.
It's the subject of the verb, the one that acts, does something.
It's just the main word in a sentence.
Right. Okay.
Sometimes there are no verbs. For example, I can say сегодня погода хорошая. Today the weather is good. But in English you have is, in Russian you don't have is. You just say сегодня, today, погода, the weather, хорошая, good.
Okay.
What is the subject?
So today weather good.
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, the weather.
The main word. That's the subject. That's nominative case.
Okay.
Погода. Genitive usually shows possession.
Possession.
So first possession when you say I have something. So it's very interesting in Russian because in English you say I have, and it's like I am the owner of the world.
Okay.
In Russian we have
That's interesting.
we are not owners of the world. We think that we are a part of the world and world can influence on us, and we cannot say that I own something, I possess something. We can just say that something is around me. And in English it will be like I have.
Seriously, it's the first time somebody mentions this to me. I love it. I've never thought about that. Never thought about that.
But you know that when you say I have, you say у меня.
Okay.
And у means by, next to,
Good.
near.
У меня, okay?
Yeah.
У меня. Вот Alina сейчас у меня. She's next to me. Okay, question. Is this your explanation or is this something that you have read in a book? Is it like
It's
a linguist said to you?
that comes from my experience and analyzation of the language and from reading books, from talking to people, from talking to teachers and discussing why is that. So it's just some things you cannot find in textbooks. Some things you just understand.
Good. And it doesn't matter if it's your interpretation, because I love that interpretation. It takes the thing grammar to a different level, to more
cultural.
Yes.
That's why you learn culture from the language, and you learn language from the culture. It's related.
That's right.
So you need to understand how Russian people think to be able to use the language correctly.
Good.
To start speaking the language.
Okay. Nothing belongs to you. There's something around you.
Yeah.
At one point of the time.
Exactly. So when you want to say that somebody has something, you put u, and then this person in genitive case. So Angelos would be u Angelosa. Есть, he has, есть, ручка.
Okay.
But if you translate it literally, it's like there is a pen somewhere around Angelos.
Good, right.
So apart from who has something, you can say, in English you would say of. This is like, I don't know, an office of a company. You would say company's office, but still you can make it this way, of,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
And again, in Russian it will be genitive. Это office,
Mhm.
and then of the company, it would be genitive. Компании,
Okay.
компания, компании, да?
Right, of something.
Mhm.
Okay.
And if I see something on a table and I say, whose is this pen? Чья это ручка? Чей это карандаш?
Mhm.
Again, it will be genitive. Это карандаш, and then of, genitive.
Okay.
Angelosa, Aliny. Okay?
Right, okay. So
Okay.
you change the ending.
Yeah.
It's a different case.
But genitive, I think it's one of the most used, like frequently used cases because there are so many functions. Not only possession, but also when you say there is no something, and something will be in genitive. So if I want to say that in this office there is no fridge, I would put fridge into genitive. В офисе нет холодильника. Холодильник, nominative,
Okay.
холодильника, genitive.
Right, just the same thing, yeah. Angelos, Angelosa. Okay, that's one group.
Холодильник, холодильника.
Good, the same
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so there is not, yeah? There is not.
Yeah, yeah.
Нет, for example, what else? Нет.
У меня нет.
Uh-huh.
And then you put genitive. So I don't have something.
Right.
Not only you put меня in genitive, у, by, me, меня, genitive, нет, and then again genitive.
Interesting, so we can have two genitives
Yeah.
there, yeah?
Yeah.
Because у меня, у тебя нет холодильника.
Да.
Дома.
У меня дома есть холодильник. It's interesting again because when you say I have something after есть, you put nominative.
Okay, okay.
But нет, у меня нет холодильника is genitive.
Right.
У меня есть холодильник, у меня нет холодильника. Почему мы говорим о холодильнике? Я не понимаю, почему такой пример. Почему холодильник? Ну ладно.
This is interesting because you said it's one of the most popular cases, the genitive case.
Yeah.
Because after a lot of prepositions like
Exactly.
против, вдоль,
Без,
без,
кроме, около.
после.
Очень много.
That's
Очень
right.
много. Very many prepositions go with genitive.
That's right.
Okay, let's move on to dative, okay? Because we mentioned the most frequently used functions of genitive. Now let's move on to dative. Dative is really interesting because it shows a recipient of an action. So there is one person, which is the subject of the sentence, who does something. This example with Елена звонит Виктор. So Victor is the subject. He calls, and then to whom? To Yelena, and Yelena receives his call. So she is somebody who receives, a recipient of an action.
Right.
So this is dative. Dative
Okay.
is often used with names which receive an action from somebody else, with verbs to call, to write to whom, to buy something to whom, to say something to whom. So to whom it will be dative in Russian.
Right. I have an explanation for this, and because I am Greek, so in ancient Greek we also have cases. So we have a dative case in ancient Greek. So I give the book to Alina, right? So to Alina is the recipient, as Alina said. That's going to be in the dative case. The direct object, okay, that's the indirect object, Alina. The direct object, this one for example, is going to be in the accusative case.
It's going to be another case.
Right, so I'm giving this to you, dative case, data не падешь.
Yes, exactly. But this is not the only function. There are a few more functions, very important. When you talk about age, how old you are, you say me in dative. So it's again Russian philosophy. It's not that I am what age. It's like how many years the life gave me.
Тебе дали, да, Бог, например, да?
Yes. So I would say мне 31 год.
Interesting. Мне 34.
Хорошо?
Interesting. I've never thought about that because, yeah, жизнь, например, да? How many years she has got so far? You know, somebody gave her some years to live.
Yeah. It's not that I own my years, I live them, not active. Russian is quite passive.
Interesting.
Because you see, there are so many words again, как мне нравится. Мне нравится, it's like me gusta in Spanish. It's like not I like, but something makes me like it.
Okay.
Or brings pleasure to me. So мне нравится. And there are two ways to say I want in Russian. Я хочу is more active, like I want, and I am taking the responsibility of wanting something.
Okay.
But if I don't really want to take the responsibility, I can say мне хочется. Или мне не хочется.
Interesting, all these nuances. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Right, мне хочется, да?
Yeah. So it's not so active. It's like something makes me not want it or want it. It's like I get influenced.
Okay, so for example, if I say we have some cookies here, right? If I say, мне хочется что-то сладкое сейчас, значит, maybe I know this is not good, you know, for my health. It's very, you know, lots of sugar, but I want it now. I need some energy, for example. Is that right?
It's not that I want it. It's just like, well, something makes me want it. Maybe my body.
Хочешь?
Не хочется, спасибо. It's a good way to say no.
Okay.
By the way, it's not that I don't want. It's more like something makes me not want it.
Okay.
Not so active, not so. Sometimes not so aggressive, you know.
Right.
Мне хочется, мне не хочется.
So you don't want to assume responsibility.
Yeah,
It's not your problem.
Yeah.
It's just.
It's not my problem.
Не
No.
хочется.
Yeah. Что сделаешь? What can
Да.
I do? Мне не хочется. And there's another one, very funny. When I don't want to work, I can say мне не работается.
Oh.
Что-то мне не работается. It's like I don't really feel like, or something doesn't allow me, make me like wanna work.
Okay.
It's like
Еще раз.
The
Мне не
weather.
работается, да?
Мне не работается. Maybe the weather is bad. Maybe it's noisy here. Something around me disturbs me.
Okay.
И мне не работается.
Right. Probably in English, an equivalent would be probably it's not working with me. Something like that, maybe. No.
I think it's more like I don't feel like.
I don't feel like. Yeah.
But again, in English, it's again active. I don't feel like.
That's it. I think that's the one. I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like working now.
Yeah. So that's dative.
Okay.
Мне нравится. Мне хочется. Мне не работается. It's always with не. It's always I don't feel like. Мне 31 год with age. And recipient of an action.
Okay.
There are more functions, but again, we today are just talking about the most useful ones, the most frequently used ones.
Right.
Move on to accusative. Again, when we start learning cases with foreign students, first goes nominative, because it nominates things. It's the easiest one, the one that we find in a dictionary. Second goes accusative. Why?
Accusative.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because people like to, you know, accuse other people. You did that.
No.
It was just a guess.
No, it's the second easiest case, because you change only feminine, only a to u, ya to you. You don't change masculine, you don't change neuter, you don't change plural, nouns, adjectives, pronouns. But if we only talk about things, with people it's another thing. But if we talk about things, you just change feminine. That's why it's really easy. So for example, how do we use accusative case? Accusative case shows the direct object, like a noun that goes after the verb. So if you want to say, I'm reading a book, so я читаю книгу. So the book will be in accusative because it goes right after the verb,
Okay.
and it's a direct object. So with direct objects we use accusative.
Right.
And kniga, it's nominative, book, and you change to u, knigu in accusative.
Okay, so у меня есть книга,
Nominative.
but я люблю эту книгу.
Accusative.
Accusative.
Yes.
Книга, книгу. Я хочу тебе дать эту книгу.
Accusative. I want
Again.
to give you this book. Give
This-
what?
Okay.
Direct object. So with many verbs you use accusative. Делать, to do. Что? What? Accusative. Делать домашнюю работу. To do the work around the house.
Okay.
The housework. Читать книгу. Read a book.
Okay. Я читаю книгу.
Есть пиццу. Pizza. Пиццу. Accusative.
The same thing. Pizza, пиццу.
Да.
Okay.
Пить. Чай.
Чай. Right. What is the gender? The gender is masculine, and it doesn't change. You said.
No.
So, я пью чай.
The
Okay.
same as nominative. Это чай. Nominative. Я пью чай. Accusative. But exactly the same.
It doesn't
No
change.
changes. Yeah.
Okay. But it does change when we talk about people. Yeah.
Yeah. It changes for people. For masculine, masculine will be the same as genitive. Masculine person, accusative, the same as genitive.
Masculine person, accusative, same as genitive.
And plural, the same as genitive.
Right.
People, the same
Give an
as
example,
genitive.
Alina.
I don't really like this case because it's the most complicated one. I
Okay.
mean genitive plural.
Okay.
And accusative for people, plural, the same
That's
as
right.
genitive
You
plural.
have different
There are
endings.
5 different endings.
Oh, right.
If you manage to remember the rule for 5 endings in genitive plural, you'll be my hero.
Yeah. Have
It's complicated.
Of, yef.
Yes,
We
of,
have-
yef, yay, e, and 0 ending. Yeah, but it's used a lot.
Right.
It's so unfair for my students because when I give them nominative plural, so for example карандаш and plural карандаши, ручка and plural ручки, and I want them to describe what there is in a room, on the table, and I want them just to use nominative plural, but they already know the word много, many or much, and they want to say there are many pens, many pencils, and they just put nominative plural after that. Много ручки, много карандаши. But I feel so sorry for them when I tell them it's not nominative, it's genitive.
You can't explain these things. You say, let's have a break now. We'll come back later.
Yeah, so they feel bad usually. That's genitive plural. We use it a lot because we often say мало, a little bit, много, a lot, чуть-чуть, again genitive, сколько, how many, how much, and with numbers. It's another complicated thing in Russian because there is one when you say I have 1 apple. Одно яблоко. This is nominative, яблоко. You don't change. But when you want to say 2, 3, 4, you change яблоко to genitive singular. It will be яблоко. 2 яблока, 3 яблока, 4 яблока. All becomes a. And if you want to say 5, 6, 7, so from 5 up to 20, you need to change to genitive plural. I'm so sorry for you guys. It's horrible. I know. So it will be 5 яблок, 10 яблок, 20 яблок. I don't like this part.
Okay.
In genitive
Let's
plural,
not intimidate people.
It's difficult. That's why I want to just talk about the main functions, not to go to numbers, because it's complicated, though it's really useful and very often used.
Okay.
So we were talking about accusative.
So, talking about accusative.
Yeah.
So it's the it's the action of the verb on something. Yeah. Люблю эту книгу, читаю эту книгу. Anything else with accusative?
Directions. So when you use verbs of motion, like я иду, I'm walking towards something, it will be accusative. So your direction will be accusative.
Okay, give me some examples.
Я иду в школу.
Я иду в школу. Школа.
В школу.
Okay.
Accusative. Москва. Я еду. So you will not use иду because it's walking. Я еду by transport. Я еду в Москву.
Я еду в Москву. Okay.
That's the main for accusative. The main theme for accusative. Directions and direct objects. Instrumental. Instrumental, it's also like a tricky case because it has so many different functions. Like with accusative, just two main functions you use a lot: direct object and direction. But with instrumental, many verbs like быть, работать, стать, plus instrumental. Some verbs with ся, интересоваться, увлекаться, плюс чем, заниматься спортом, instrumental. With preposition с, I think is the main function of instrumental because we use it a lot. So with с.
Okay.
If I want to say я пью чай, I drink tea with milk. Чай с молоком. Instrumental.
Okay, with milk, yeah.
Увлекаться чем? Это instrumental.
That's instrumental, okay.
Заниматься, интересоваться, увлекаться.
Заниматься, интересоваться, увлекаться.
Instrumental.
Instrumental case.
Yes.
That's a good set of verbs. That's a good set of verbs to remember. Заниматься is the most popular probably. Заниматься, okay. Интересоваться и увлекаться. And all the other verbs that are with some prefixes. For example, заинтересоваться. Я заинтересовался. Yeah. Those as well take the same the same case.
Yeah, but it's the same verb but perfect.
Correct.
Интересоваться, заинтересоваться. The same verb. So I would recommend you to remember two sets of verbs, 3 and 3. So first set is интересоваться, заниматься, увлекаться. It's related to your hobbies, some activities that you participate in. And the second set is быть, стать, работать. So to be, to become, and to work as somebody.
3 examples from you.
Быть. We already said that in present tense we don't use быть as in English, I am a teacher, but we would use it in past and future. So if I want to say I was a teacher, I would use я была and then instrumental case. Я была учителем.
Okay.
And future, я буду учителем.
Okay.
It's a very common question for children. Two types of questions. You can use быть or стать. Кем ты будешь? Who you will be, or кем ты станешь, who will you become. Usually people who ask that, they mean profession, right?
Okay.
So what do you want to do in the future?
Right.
Кем ты будешь, кем ты станешь, когда вырастешь, when you grow up.
Right.
Or когда закончишь университет, when you graduate the university.
Got it. So it's interesting here that when you ask the question, you change кто, you make it кем.
Yes.
Okay.
We didn't talk about it yet.
Okay.
Yes, but it's very important that Angelos said that because we don't only change nouns, adjectives, pronouns. We kind of change questions which are also actually pronouns. But it's usually a shock for foreigners because it's who and what, how, why, why do you change them?
But it's consistent. It's consistent. You ask the same way you answer the question. So
and it helps you if you know the questions for each case, who and what in 6 different variants. By the question, if you listen carefully, you can understand which case you need to use in the answer.
Right.
So it helps you actually, but you need to be attentive and listen what case people use.
Good. Okay. That's good.
Prepositional.
Prepositional.
Yes. So prepositional is the last one, guys. We use it with
Well, to show where something happens.
We use it with prepositions.
Ah, right. Okay, sure.
That's why it's called prepositional. And there are 3 prepositions we usually use it with. The first 2 is v and na, and we use it to talk about location.
Location.
For example, мы сейчас в офисе. Office, nominative. В офисе, in an office.
Okay.
Prepositional case.
Right.
So we are right now in an office. And there's another preposition, o, about. So we use it with verbs like to talk about, to speak about, to tell about, to think about, to dream about. Да? Думать о, рассказывать о, говорить о. And then last prepositional.
About, right. Okay.
Мы сейчас говорим о грамматике. Да?
Talking about grammar.
Да, грамматика.
Грамматики.
Грамматике. Nominative prepositional.
Okay.
So location is the most actually useful function, but with or you also use a lot prepositional case.
Good. So when we ask, for example, где ты сейчас? Okay, where are you now? Right? Give us some examples. В офисе.
В офисе в Санкт-Петербурге.
В Санкт-Петербурге. Москва.
Не в Москве. Мы сейчас не в Москве. Мы сейчас на улице. Как называется улица?
Слушай, я не помню. Значит,
не
улица, конечно,
на улице.
Улица на улице.
Да.
Okay, so you change, you don't say в улице.
Да. You say на
улице. You say на улице. So certain nouns take na and certain nouns take v.
It's not about nouns, it's more about inside or outside. If you talk about something like в университете, в школе, it's inside the building. So that's why it's в.
Okay.
If you say in the street, in English you say in the street or
on the street.
You can also say on the street. In Russian you say на улице because when it's an open sky, like somewhere without a roof, it's na.
Okay. Just remember that we can say at the street. But anyway, you see, English language is not.
English. I hate it.
Yeah. See, English language is not innocent, guys. Yeah. Don't accuse Russian language.
Yeah.
Don't blame Russian language for being difficult.
Yeah, in Russian just v and na, and in English in, on, at, and you always need to choose. And struggle with it. What I do with them.
Okay.
Yes.
Any more uses for the preposition?
Prepositional? No, just v, na, o.
Okay.
Location and about. But you can remember prepositional endings quite easily if you remember the question где, where, because it ends in ye, and most of the nouns in prepositional case they also end in ye. You've just heard we used в Москве, в Санкт-Петербурге, в офисе, на улице. Everything ends in ye. So if you remember где, ye.
Right.
And it's not always. It's 80% of nouns, as I usually say. But it helps.
Good.
It helps if you remember questions.
Right.
Okay.
I just want, because I think this is important for us to say. So, for the finish, guys, we're going to make more videos with Alina, but if you want us to make more videos, loads of them, you have to do two things. You have to like the video, share it, and leave a comment and say, what do you want us to talk about? О чем мы будем говорить в следующем видео?
We can talk about anything. Vocabulary, maybe some difficult things you're interested in, maybe grammar. Usually people ask about grammar.
Good.
We can talk about grammar.
Good, but we need to know, so we need you to leave a comment.
Yeah.
Right? Alina, где ты работаешь?
Я работаю в школе Enjoy Russian.
Enjoy Russian?
Yes.
Where is that school?
Petrozavodsk. Yeah.
Good.
Prepositional case.
Where? Petrozavodsk.
Где Petrozavodsk?
Far.
No,
in the north.
No. It's just
very cold there.
5 hours from St. Petersburg. It's the same. I think in St. Petersburg it's even colder because it's humid here.
That's right.
And in Petrozavodsk is not so humid, so it's not so cold.
Okay.
So,
right. So enjoy Russian. Yeah, enjoy Russian and study Russian and enjoy Russian.
Yes, another thing I wanted to say, I really recommend you and invite you to our unique courses this year. We're going to run 1 week course in Sochi in March, 1 week course in Kazan in May, and then we're going to Baikal in September. So these are destinations that usually people don't go to because there are not so many schools there. I think there's no schools like this in Sochi, and nothing like this in Baikal, and I'm not sure about Kazan. But with us, you will get an opportunity to travel, to see different Russia, because usually people know Moscow, St. Petersburg, but they don't know anything about other places. And Russia is so huge, guys. You need to see all of it, or the most beautiful part of it.
Good.
So travel with us, and maybe Angelos will join us. Who knows?
I will. I will join you. Alina, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you here today. As I said, we're going to do more videos. Let us know what would you like us to talk about. Thank you so much. Спасибо вам большое.
Пожалуйста.
Спасибо. И вам спасибо.